Ladies, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm really excited to be doing episode 7 of Let's Create a Healthy Relationship with Money. I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in, watching my videos, commenting, liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos. It's been really wonderful to see the growth, and I'm so excited to be able to share everything that I learned from this book with you all. And I'm just so appreciative of the time and energy that it takes to tune in and watch these videos and take the time to comment or like or subscribe to my channel. So thank you all so much. And with further ado, let's finish up chapter 4. I don't know. Want to get into it? Let's go. So we stopped at a really random point last time because I was trying not to make this video super long. I literally ended in the middle of a page, so we're just gonna hop right into it. The book is saying here that my favorite question to ask people is, if money was a person, who would it be? Would it be a fun person, always joking, always entertaining you? Or is it somebody like an assassin who's going to try and hurt you or scare you? Or gangsters who try to intimidate you? If you're complaining, money may not be such a fun, good person. By complaining, you make money by being a villain. And you don't want that scary person living in your house. Just look at it from money's perspective. If you've been complaining about it, the feeling is mutual. If you complain about it, money will say, no, I'm not going to come to you. This means honestly looking at how you feel about money and making the commitment to change your perspective so you can shift your emotions. Only then can you cultivate the right energy flow between you and money. If you don't want it near you, why would it come to you? But if you make it your friend, it feels welcome. Our relationship with money is an emotional, intense, intimate relationship. Even though it involves numbers, it isn't typically an analytical relationship. Our money wounds are often attached to memories and stories we tell ourselves about these memories. There's energy stored in each of those memories. Often we simply can't go back and undo or retrace our steps. But Joe Dispenza says that we don't necessarily need to resolve the wound. What we can do is heal the memory of the wound by finding new ways to retell the story associated with it. And I'm really trying to retell my story, y'all, because I'm gonna be honest, the past couple of days, the stories that I've been telling myself all my life are coming to bite me in a way that is uncomfortable and makes me sad, and feel hopeless. So, yeah, it's really time to retell these stories to myself and to change those meanings, because I know without a doubt that it's going to hinder me in a way that is not going to allow me to accomplish things in the way that I want to accomplish things. And I just want to be way more hopeful and way less fearful. And I know I can do that. And I know that this book can help me. I know I just have to put in the work. And it's really scary to put in the work. And I want people to know that, like, you're not alone within this fear of money and the relationship that you've created with money because of the stories you've told yourself and the stories that other people have told for you. So I'm just letting you all know now, this might be a little bit more of me yapping today and being a little bit more vulnerable and emotional just because I'm feeling real fresh with my money journey these past couple of days. So just bear with me, y'all. But the book continues to say, I should note that these moments in our past can traumatize us in small or big ways, but they can also motivate us to become greater, to take action, develop value, learn new skills, get uncomfortable, and push past our fears. In other words, we're not helpless victims of our stories. Clock that. Thank you for telling me, book. For example, when my dad was injured in that car accident, I no longer had his financial support to fall back on. It was traumatic, to be sure, but it also moved me to take ownership of my own financial future. In the same way, when I was picked last for dodgeball in 4th grade, it pushed me to want to get better at sports so I wouldn't be the last one picked. That drive eventually landed me in the professional football and on the USA team handball national team. It's not our wounds that matter, it's how we interpret the memory of the wound and how we respond to it that matters. Alright, bet. Our goal in healing these wounds is to be driven not by anger, resentment, or shame, but by the desire to learn to accept, forgive ourselves for where we are and not for the things we didn't know. Then we can build from a place of pursuing our meaningful mission, not from a place of trying to prove something to the rest of the world, but by being of service to others while striving to be our best in our pursuits in our life. Okay. All right. I'm listening. I'm hearing. I'm taking it all in. All right, next part of this book is called Take Yourself to Money Therapy. Let's see what the book's got to say about this, because, girl, I need some money therapy right now. I need to take yourself to money therapy. It says, creating a healthy relationship with money is like a dance. You have to learn how to connect with your heart, but not get carried away by emotion. You can't allow money to walk all over you, blind you, or take away your healthy boundaries in exchange for access to it, okay? You have to be able to ask tough questions and stay aligned with your personal values. You have to know when to go in depth and do your due diligence before you invest in something that has potential to give you a great return. This is why I suggest you engage in money therapy with yourself. It is important for you to understand that if the persona you assign to money comes from you, it is not a unique person in of itself. It reflects what you project onto it, okay? So it says here in all bold, change the way you see and feel about money, and you change the way money interacts with you. All right. Change the way you see and feel about money. You change the way money interacts with you. Okay, so consequently, you need to make space to reflect on how you see and feel about money. There may be things you are ashamed of, embarrassed by, or afraid to talk about. The first step is simply bringing them into light. Doing so will help you find patterns of behavior based on triggers and help you bring awareness and clarity to why you do what you do with your money. Let's start your healing journey. All right, and next we got some bullet points. All right, so number 1 on this list is identify your money triggers. A friend of mine remembers when his parents told him they couldn't afford to buy fabric softener sheets, and so he presumed that people who could must be rich. Now, even as an adult, the scent of dryer sheets reminds him of his limiting perspective that money just wasn't available for people like him. It's a story of lack, not abundance. Your trigger may be less tactile in nature and more emotional. For example, if you do not have enough money to pay an upcoming bill, emotions may flare up that stem from arguments your parents had about paying bills when you were a child. As a result, you splurge on a shopping spree to feel better to make panic moves with investments to try to get that bill paid. Think about what emotional triggers you have around money. What stories are attached to them. All right. Okay, number 2 is write it down. Journaling is a great way to get your thoughts and feelings out in a way you can observe them better. Try to keep a journal for a week or 2 and note every time you have an emotional reaction to something involving money, which I already started doing. As you read what you wrote down, you might be surprised by the thoughts and reasons that pop up to explain why you do the things that you do with money. Don't judge what you write, just let it out and see what surfaces. Definitely already been doing this one because I need to journal these past couple days, so I definitely started on that one already, and I'm definitely learning a lot. Next is number 3, talk to a safe person. Trust me, keeping things bottled up doesn't help you in the long run. Talking out loud about what you're going through helps you process the information. Getting it out into the open, whether it's with a therapist or a coach, spiritual advisor, or even speaking to a trusted friend, can emotionally set you free. This release gives you the peace you deserve. We all deserve it. However, I do suggest you be intentional about choosing the person and making sure they have a positive relationship with money. Otherwise, you may be exposing yourself to negative input from their own poor relationship with it. Good to know, and already have someone in mind who I already talk to about money often and who I love for feedback. You know who you are. Cough, cough, breathe, cough, cough. Anyways, y'all don't know. Alright, so next is number 4. Forgive yourselves and others. There's a place for forgiveness in any kind of therapy. Whatever mistakes you have made with money in the past, and we've all made them, and you must learn from them and then let them go. A big part of forgiving yourself in money therapy involves letting go of the feelings of guilt and shame that you have held on to for far too long. You can forgive yourself for those times when you used money in a way that did not align with your higher self. For those times when you suppressed your natural money style and went against what felt right to you. For those times when you did not take care of your money and then were disappointed when your money did not take care of you. Back then, you didn't have the emotional tools to feel safe, so you did things from anxiety, stress, and survival mode. Now, as you take the journey to heal yourself, you are healing your relationship with money as well. Let's go in order to level up. If I hadn't learned to forgive myself and find ways to integrate the healing lessons I've learned, I would have continued to have an emotional reaction because that wound is still there. Until we heal those wounds and start integrating the healing journey, we'll continue to feel like we're in emotional fight or flight mode around money. And we're trying to get out of fight or flight. This is nature versus nurture. We can nurture ourselves into a better relationship with money. I know we can, y'all. Let's get into it, okay? Let's do it. Is practice overcoming your triggers. Now, this is a big one for me. It might be a big one for you, so let's pay attention here. Once you realize... Geez, can I talk today? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a jumbled mess. I can read. Once you release the negative emotions associated with your money story, you can open up to more positive actions flowing from you. After you identify that the things that trigger certain emotions toward money, you'll be able to notice when you start to react in the old way and you'll make a different choice. Then it simply is a matter of practicing your new responses to those triggers, okay? So we're practicing. For example, perhaps in the past when your significant other said something that you interpreted as implying you were not making wise money decisions, it flashed you back to a parent or someone else who mattered berating you for your money failures. Rather than reacting to your partner from that place of hurt and regret, you can acknowledge the trigger, see the situation through your healed relationship with money, remove emotion from the conversation, and respond in a healthy way by asking questions to learn more. That's something that I did not do yesterday. And I definitely reacted emotionally. Alright. Next is number 6. Create healthy boundaries. You likely need to have some courageous conversations with people you care about to put healthy boundaries in place. For example, there have been times when I've gotten money to people for a certain purpose only to discover it was used in a different way than we agreed. As tough as it was, I had to have that conversation to let them know that their behavior was not okay with me. We were no longer in emotional alignment. We had to start over and create a new agreement to try to rebuild the trust. In these types of conversations, you have to be clear about what you want, the energy you want to feel, and the type of peace you want to have as a result. In every relationship, there are exchanges of value, including exchanges that are not explicitly about money. Number 7 is motivate yourself to grow. It says here, I like games, so I always look for little ways to gamify a situation when I need to be motivated to overcome something. Maybe when you see yourself making a wise move with money from a healed place, you treat yourself to a little something that is meaningful to you. It doesn't have to be something that costs money or even something. It could be just telling yourself out loud that you did a great job. It could be giving yourself the gift of time in a soothing bath. It could even be a relational in nature, such as grabbing coffee with someone or visiting a spa together. The key is to set up little ways to reward yourself and motivate yourself to engage with money differently, okay? You can't just heal your relationship with money and leave the rest of yourself a mess. When I released pain from my old wounds and become free energetically, I could finally focus on things that mattered. When something that used to trigger me showed up in my life again, I was able to notice it and respond to it differently. I could say no to things, create boundaries, and break through barriers. I eliminated meetings I didn't want to take because I didn't feel like I had to be a people pleaser anymore. Everything started to fade away that was tied to my thoughts of I don't feel like I'm enough, so let me do things for others and avoid disturbing or upsetting people. I chose to focus on my mission, health and relationships, so I could show up with clarity and intentionality. In their wildly popular book Attached, Amir Levine and Rachel S.F. Heller explore 3 primary types of relationship styles. Two are negative, avoidant and anxious. One is positive, secure. If we layer these relationship styles on top of our money styles and story, we can better understand our relationship with money. Someone with an avoidant approach tends to devalue money and treat it as something to steer clear of. Even though that person may actually really want it, they unconsciously do all they can to make sure it doesn't come their way. Someone with an anxious approach treats money the exact opposite way. They fret about it, worry over it, cling to every penny, and generally live a frustrated life in relationships with it. They seek something money can never truly give, affirmation of their own value. Sheesh. Someone who has a healthy relationship with money has a secure relationship with themselves first. They are secure in the sense that they are neither avoiding money nor anxious about it. They protect confidence into the universe around money, and in return, money tends to come to them more easily. By learning to understand and heal your traumas and triggers, you can give yourself permission to move forward in a more powerful way, walking in integrity in alignment with your agreements and making money for the purpose of fulfilling your meaningful mission. So the next title in this chapter is your game plan, and we got to exercise. Exercise 1 is act your way to belief. Wonder what that means, because I'm pretty good at acting. Okay, so next, let's see what it says about this exercise. If you want to heal your relationship with money, you've got to change your beliefs. But this is often easier said than done. A counterintuitive way to do this is to change your actions first and then watch as new beliefs form around those actions. To put this into practice, create a chart that explores your healing and harmful actions and your positive and negative thoughts, right? And write any negative thoughts you may have around money in the bottom left quadrant. These are the thoughts you want to eliminate. In the bottom right corner, identify the harmful actions these thoughts have caused. In the top corner, write any healing actions you can take around money. In the top right corner, write the corresponding positive thought that action creates. As you begin to recognize the relationship between your thoughts and actions, you can look for ways to take more healing actions than harmful actions, to think more positive thoughts than negative thoughts. This is a powerful way for you to begin to heal. And this is what the chart is supposed to look like. I'm going to fill this out and then I'll come back to y'all, okay? This table was a lot harder to get through than I originally thought it was going to be. So I only wrote down 1 to 2 things in each box just to get it started for this video. I'm gonna have to take more time throughout the next several days to weeks to really think more about this, because I really just can't come up with anything right now. I know there's more in my head, but sometimes I just have a hard time like getting all the thoughts. But for healing actions, there's already in each box there's already an option written in them, and they fit really well with how I already feel. So I'm going to read those out to you. So in the first one, for healing actions, it says be generous, and then the positive thoughts that go with that is I am abundant. And then the next healing action I put in is saving money, which I don't do and have a problem doing. And the positive thoughts that comes with that is I'm growing. And then the negative thoughts that was already in here was there's never enough, and the harmful action with that is I'll hoard what I have. Can't fully relate to that, but kind of relates to that. And then the one that I wrote down is money determines my self-worth. And then the harmful action is only feels passionate about a job when getting paid what I'm worth. Interesting. But would rather feel passionate about a job that I enjoy and love versus the money that I get from it, which is really interesting. So exercise 2 is let's go and level up. Healing any relationship requires knowing what to let go of and then having the courage to do it. On the other side of that are the lightness and freedom you've been missing. In order to level up, you've got to learn to let go. This exercise is aspirational. It requires some honest reflection and self-awareness. Find a quiet spot, sit, clear away distractions, Once you are dialed in, think about the unhelpful thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you carry about money. Identify these thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Name them. This is the baggage that weighs you down. Then determine to let them go. As you do, visualize a lighter you. Where will this newfound lightness enable you to level up? Get aspirational. Dream big dreams. Make your visions concrete. As a final step, write it down. How are you feeling now? Make it present tense so it feels like it's something you can start thinking, believing, feeling tomorrow. Take this lightness with you as you heal your money relationship. This is critical as you move into the next chapter and see how many connects to your meaningful mission. All right, so exercise 2, I'm not going to do on screen. It's going to be a personal meditation because I don't know. I feel like that one, that one's I'm really going to have to take some time with and really sit down with myself. So I'm not going to do that one on cam. But I'm going to read exercise 3 out to you, which is find a money mentor. Who do you know who has a healthy relationship with money? It helps to learn from people who are several steps ahead of you in your journey. Think about the people you know who have a good relationship with money and whose money story and style you admire. Then reach out, book a lunch or coffee with them, interview them, get a new perspective, borrow their belief. When you are finished, journal about what you learned from them and let them know how it impacted your thinking. If it makes sense and if they're willing and able, set up a recurring time to meet and discuss your evolving relationship with money. As you make more money, it will be important to have money mentors who can guide you on the different opportunities and challenges money may bring to you. Okay, so this is the end of chapter 5. I know I got people in my life that I can talk to about money. I know people who have good money styles, alright money styles, secure money styles, and then it just really depends. I think, honestly, if I'm going to find a money mentor, I'm not really sure if I want that to be someone who I'm friends with, just because, I don't know, it's kind of like a therapist in a sense where I don't want I want it to be more, objective versus subjective, because I think that would help me more. I don't want there to be a personal relationship attached to that help. So I'm gonna have to go through and really see who I look at as someone who would be a good mentor to me and who would be willing to mentor me. That's someone that's not specifically like extremely close to me. So we'll see where that part of the journey takes me. But I don't know. I hope this video is really helpful for you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I know this was a shorter video, and I hope this is digestible for you and that these exercises can really help you in your money journey. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and comment this video if you can. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.